Hey everyone, welcome back to Jar's Toy Emporium, and today we are going to be showing you guys a small part of my collection, but one of my favorite parts of my collection, and that is the Star Wars Rebels line. So let's get right into it. So starting off with the first pop I'm going to be showing you guys from the Star Wars Rebels line is actually the one that was released the most recently, and that is this Imperial Super Commando coming in from 2021. Now this pop I feel like is probably one of the least loved Star Wars Rebels pops, but let me be honest with you guys, this is actually one of my favorites. I'm a big clone trooper or, stormtrooper or any type of trooper fan. And this Imperial Super Commando is really cool. This one came out in the 2021 Summer Convention. I believe this one was shared with GameStop, which is a really great place to share pops in my opinion. I love when it's a GameStop shared exclusive. I feel like they're actually easy for people to get their hands on. And really, truthfully, GameStop actually does pretty good shipping pops. So if you order one online, you usually can get a pretty good condition one, as opposed to when Amazon or Walmart, someone like that, has more of a shared exclusive. This one, like I said, was a shared exclusive with GameStop, and it is definitely one of my favorites. I love the Imperial Super Commandos, and I actually hope we get to see some of them in the Ahsoka show. So the next Star Wars Rebel pops I'm going to be showing you guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you 3 of them, and that's in efforts to try and keep this video a little shorter, because it wasn't until I started getting these Star Wars Rebel pops out that I realized how many there actually are. Usually when you start thinking about the Star Wars Rebel lines, there are some of the key ones that you think of, like Ezra, Kanan, the Ahsoka pops, but there's actually a lot more than that, and these 3 that I'm going to be showing you right now are all 3 Walmart exclusives, and they're actually some of my favorites. Again, I don't think you can go wrong with this Rebels line, and that is all 3 of the Inquisitors right here. Guys, I love these pops. I think they did such a good job with the Inquisitors. One of my favorite things about these pops is I love that for these 3 pops, they actually kept them all at the same exclusive retailer. Now, they could have very easily done like one at Amazon, one at GameStop, and one at Walmart, or they could have done any combination of them, but I'm actually happy that they did all 3 at Walmart. As you guys can see here on the back of the boxes, I think they do a really cool job with the Rebels art. I actually love the orange, I love the Rebels logo, and I love that all 3 of these, like I just had, have that Walmart exclusive sticker, just to give them a little more, I'm not sure quite what the word is. They just have a little more, cohesive. They go together a little more, and they're all the Inquisitors, so naturally they should all go together. So that's one thing I was really happy about with these 3 pops. But again, another 3 awesome pops, and they're definitely essential to your Star Wars Rebels collection. They have really good detail on them, which is something that I like to see on pops, but if you guys watched my most recent video, we talked about some older pops that have come out, and sometimes that older pop charm is really a big deal. I know I love older pops personally, usually better than the newer pops, even though they're not as detailed. They kind of have that just cool, nostalgic, vintage look to them, and these are kind of right in the sweet spot where they were starting to get a little more detail, but they hadn't fully gotten there yet, so they do have some cool markings on them, and they did a good job with their outfits, but they still do look like older pop, which I'm really a big fan of. So staying in line with that Sith trend I kind of got going on right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my actual most recent pickup, and that is actually this Darth Maul from the Star Wars Rebels line, and this pop is really cool. I think they did such a good job with his stance inside of there. I love his just mold in general. I think all the Darth Maul pops look really cool. And actually the cool thing about this Darth Maul pops, this is actually the same mold that they used for the Darth Maul Freddy Funko. Now I'm not going to consider that a Rebels pop, even though it is a similar mold. Obviously it's a Freddy Funko, so it's kind of in its own category. But they did use this same mold for the Freddy Funko Darth Maul, and I think it was a great one. Probably the best Darth Maul mold that they have in general. It just has a lot of cool designs. You can really see his chest markings like that match his face. And he's got his lightsaber looks really cool because it's kind of like got those little hinges sticking off of it that he had in Rebels. Really a really cool pop. As you guys can see the back of the box right there, I'm really a big fan of this Darth Maul pop, as I am most Darth Maul pops, but if I had to pick one, I think this Rebels Darth Maul might be my favorite. So next up on my Star Wars Rebels list, we're going to be transitioning to the Ghost Crew, and this is just one of 3 pops that actually got a couple of different molds in the Star Wars Rebels line, and we're going to be starting it off with probably one of my favorite characters in Star Wars Rebels, and that is none other than my man Chopper. They did a really good job with this pop. I personally like the regular Chopper over here a little better than I like the Imperial Disguised one, but I do think the cool thing about the Imperial Disguised Chopper is they actually did one, which is a really cool thing. As you can see on the back of the box, they both have the same exact backs. I wish they would have done on the Imperial Disguised one. I wish the back of the box would have had the Imperial Disguised art. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but nonetheless, it's still a really cool pop. That one actually came out at Star Wars Celebration back in 2017. So a little bit of an older pop. as are most of all these Rebels pops. A lot of these came out right around 2016. So these are really cool pops to have in your collection. Now this actually does have another version other than just these two right here, and that is actually an error box Rebels Chopper, where actually instead of saying Chopper right here on the box, it just says Chop. Now that's one I would like to add in my collection just because I think it's a unique difference. I like that it just says Chop. I think it's kind of cool. But like I said, this is the one of 3 pops that actually got 2 molds, and that is my man Chopper right here. So after talking about Chopper, I figured we'd transition into his owner, his caretaker, and that is none other than Hera. Now, Hera's another really cool pop. I'm glad that we have an actual pop of Hera. This is actually the only pop that we have of her species, which is really cool to have. They did a great job with this mold as well. She's got her pistol, she's got her goggles on her head, which I think is really cool. And as you guys saw in that Ahsoka trailer, we're going to be getting Hera. I'm super excited to see her in live action. I think all these characters are going to be really cool to see in live action. We just recently saw spoilers. If you don't want to know any spoilers, you're not caught up on The Mandalorian, you're maybe a few episodes back, I'll give you a chance to click off right now. But one of the characters that we actually just recently saw in the Mandalorian show was Zeb. So I know he already looks really good. They did a really good job with Zeb. So really happy to be seeing him in live action. And all that we saw in the trailer for Ahsoka, all the characters look great. So I'm super excited to see them in live action. This Hera is really cool. I love the back of the box. Like I said, the box art on the Rebels is some of my favorite. So that's Hera in my Star Wars Rebels collection. So we just talked about him, so I thought I'd go ahead and bring him on out, and that is actually Zeb. Now Zeb is probably one of the coolest characters in Rebels in my opinion. I love his species, and I love the pop design that they did here with him. As you guys can see, he's holding his blaster right there, and they did a really good job on this pop. I love his beady green eyes. I love absolutely one of my favorite things about this pop is just the colors they used on him. They did a great job picking him out of the show, making him look identical in his pop form. Guys, this pop looks so good. I remember when I saw this pop for the first time, it was actually one of my favorite Rebels pops, and it still actually holds that value to me. I absolutely love how they did this pop. I think they did an awesome job. You can see his beard up in there. You know, he's got his goatee. I love this pop. Zeb is actually one of my favorite characters in Rebels. When I saw him in the Ahsoka or in the Mandalorian show, I was so excited. I think there's really some cool stuff coming with that show, and that is my man Zeb. So after we just talked about Zeb, we're going to be talking about the second pop from Star Wars Rebels. It actually has a couple of different molds, and that is this Sabine pop right here. Now we actually have the masked version, which is from Walgreens, and then we have an unmasked version right here, which actually shows off her colorful hair, which really makes that pop. I really like the colors that they used for her hair. They did a great job, obviously, showcasing that. As you guys can see, here is the back of the box. I love both of these pops. I don't think I could pick one. Both of them are identical besides those heads. I kind of think it would have been cool if they would have done a Chase version instead of a Walgreens exclusive. Now, I'm not going to complain because we did get the Walgreens exclusive at least, but I think it would have been cool if one of these was a Chase, kind of similar to how we have like the Bo-Katan Chase nowadays, where she's got her unmasked helmet, and that's the Chase version, or the Cobb Vanth, where he's unmasked and that one is a Chase. I think it would have been cool if the regular Sabine, which is the common in this case, was actually the Chase right here, and then maybe this was the common. I think that Chase sticker would look really cool on this Star Wars Rebels box, but nonetheless, some of my favorite pops are these Sabine pops right here. So before we get into probably the 3 biggest characters in Star Wars Rebels, I'm going to show off one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. And if you guys know me, you probably know who that is, but that is Captain Rex. I love that we have this pop. I love that we have an older version of Captain Rex. I love that we have an unmasked version of Captain Rex. He's still got his iconic 2 pistols. You know, they did a good job with his paint. As you can see, it's changed so much over the years from when he was in the Clone Wars and to Rebels, and they did a really good job showing that. I actually love how his pistols look in this pop. Looking at them right now, I forgot how cool they look. They kind of got like a little metallic look to him if you get him in some good lighting. The pistols look really great. He looks super good. They did a great job with his beard. You guys know how big of a fan of Captain Rex I am, so this had to be in my collection, and that is Captain Rex from the Star Wars Rebels line. Now, as we transition to probably the 3 biggest characters, one of the characters that actually has a couple of molds, this is the last one I'm going to be showing you guys. I actually only have one up. If you watch my Ahsoka video of my top 5 Ahsoka pops that I just did a few days ago here on the channel, you guys know that this is one of my favorite Ahsoka pops, period, and that is the Hot Topic exclusive Star Wars Rebels Ahsoka. Now, this pop is really good, guys. If you guys watched that video, you know how big of a fan I am of this pop. It looks really cool. They did a great job with her lakus. I think they look really cool in her hair. Her white lightsabers look amazing. The detail on all of these pops, like I said, is good, but it still has kind of that charm of not being overly detailed, which I really like. And you guys can't go wrong with Ahsoka. Now, the other one I'm going to pop up on the screen right here. I actually don't have that one, unfortunately. That is one I'm definitely going to be looking to have because I'm actually only missing 2 pops from Star Wars Rebels. You guys are going to see the next ones in my collection, and then at the end of the video, I'll show you the one that I am missing. But this Ahsoka from Rebels is absolutely a must-have. So second to last of my Star Wars Rebels pops is one of my favorites and probably one of the most well-written characters in Star Wars. I think they did such a good job with this character's story, and that is Kanan. Now, Kanan is such a good-looking pop. I love the stance that they chose for him. I absolutely would love to have gotten a version of Kanan where he has his mask on his face. I think that is definitely a pop we hope to get in the future at least. But nonetheless, I'm so happy that we at least have this Kanan right here. As you guys can see, the back of the box right here looks really good. This is such a great pop. They did such a good job with his armor. Again, I know I've said it a couple times now, but it has some detail, but it's not overly detailed, so it still has that vintage pop look to it, which I'm a super big fan of. And that's going to transition us in. I figured we'd do these two together because this is his Padawan, and that is Ezra Bridger right here. Now, this Ezra pop looks really cool. I think they did such a good job with him. I absolutely love the mold that they gave Ezra here, kind of using his force a little bit. He's got this lightsaber out. As you guys know, he has one of the most iconic looking lightsabers, and they showcase it perfectly on this pop. He's in his orange clothes. He's got his blue hair. I think they did a great job with this pop, and I definitely think, now I know Funko drops the ball sometimes, I don't think we'll get another Padawan Ezra like this, but I definitely could see us getting an older version of Ezra, maybe with his head shaved like he is towards the end of Rebels. I think that would be a really cool pop we could be getting. I don't think we'll be getting a Kanan, like I said. I think his story's written. We might see some flashbacks of him in the Ahsoka show, but nonetheless, I do think it is a potential to get an older Ezra pop in the future. So hopefully that's something we do get. I would like to have that. I'm excited to see what the Ahsoka's box art is going to look like. I think it's going to look really cool. I think they could do some really cool things with it. But that is Kanan and Ezra, and I'm going to give you guys a little piece of both of them together, as I think they should be, just because they're such awesome, iconic characters. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my Star Wars Rebels collection. Like I said, I'm only missing 2, which is that holographic Ahsoka, and the one you guys didn't see is actually probably the biggest grail in Rebels, and that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. That is definitely a pop I'd look to be adding here in the near future. It's just such a great pop. I think it looks really good, and it's a pop that if you guys are interested in pop values, it is absolutely skyrocketing right now with him getting some name drops in The Mandalorian. We actually saw him in the Ahsoka trailer. We saw his back. So we know Thrawn is coming as heir to the Empire, which is going to be absolutely insane to see. So that's definitely a pop I'm looking to add. One of my favorite pops I think they've ever made in the Star Wars line, because he's just such a unique pop with his bright blue skin and his cool white Imperial outfit. So I'm excited to add that pop to the collection at some point. But that's going to do it, like I said, for my Star Wars Rebels collection. If you guys did enjoy the video, go down in that comment section below. Let me know what is your favorite Rebels pop. Let me know which ones you guys are looking to add to your collection in the future. And if you guys really did enjoy the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's me showcasing my personal Star Wars Rebels collection. And before I sign off on the video, I'm going to show you guys a picture of all of them together, all stacked up. I think you guys it's a really cool picture, I think. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.